ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. You see, the secrets of life are very simple, but the mind tries to make them complex because the nature of the mind is to love complexity. You see, 70% of the diseases of the mind can easily be cured. In fact, most of the diseases in the world are confined to mind. See, such patients who are suffering from mental disorders or mental sicknesses or mental illnesses, they require sympathy, friendliness, and loving approach. And apart from all this, a unique treatment. See, the real needs of the man, when they are not met, they start behaving strangely. What are the real needs? The real needs of the man are love and acceptance. So, when these are not met in either family or social atmosphere, they resort to behave in a very strange manner. So that's why the first approach towards them is love, then friendliness, then sympathy. Then you have to develop a kind of relationship and proximity. They should feel some proximity towards the others. Then only something can be done to cure their sickness. See, normally what we do is we don't accept what they say and we simply deny. So the denial hurts the pride of that man. He feels that we are trying to show them as insane and all that. So that's why, first of all, we have to accept it. We should tell them that what they feel is right. And when you develop such kind of contact, then they will be subject to your healing techniques. And the healing technique of any mental disorder is psychotherapy. The psychotherapy is a kind of process to clean your mind. So, before we enter and analyze that topic of healing, first of all, we will examine some of the live examples of this kind of mental disorders. You see, there was a man, a middle-aged man, who used to tear the papers, simply tearing the papers and throwing them away. In spite of the goading and advices given by the family members, he never used to relent, and he continues to do the same thing wherever he is. So, finally, the family members have come to a conclusion that there is some kind of mental disorder, and so they consulted many psychiatrists and all other doctors. But nobody could cure his disorder. So finally, they went to a hypnotist who is also a magician. So the magician took him and walked with him up and down of the staircase. So within 10 minutes, the magician told them that he is cured of the disease. So they wondered, how could it be possible that, the cure of the disease of the patient in such a short time without any medicine? How could it be possible? And so they want to test the patient, and he was perfectly all right, and he said, whatever has been done by him was out of ignorance, and he will never repeat such acts, and he feels very much ashamed of his action, which has been doing all through. Then they asked the magician how he could do that. Then the magician told them, see, very simple. I told him that if you do the same thing again, I will kick you out with a big punch. And the magician was very strong and tall, so he was afraid. So the reason for disappearing the disorder in him is fear. So the fear imposed by the magician brought him cure. But we have to remember one thing. Whatever the cure the patient got is worse than the disease, because the fear definitely has an impact on the behavioral patterns of the human beings. But that is not the right way. The right way is only through love. When the magician could cure his disease out of love, it's a different matter and dimension. Now, his disease is cured. This is one kind of therapy. Then, in the other case, there is another example. There was one boy who used to feel that he had swallowed 2 flies, and the 2 flies are creating havoc in his stomach. So he used to say this to the parents, and parents took them to different doctors, and nobody could diagnose, because in fact what he said, so they tried to diagnose and there were no flies, and they could not do or bring any relief to that boy. So finally they brought him to a master. The master asked the boy with love and sympathy, what is the matter? How could he swallow those 2 flies? Then the boy told him that when he was sleeping, he opened his mouth. He used to open the mouth, and the flies have entered through mouth, and they are there inside. And these people, he means to say his family members are not able to understand his problem. So the master said, and the master in fact asked him to lie down on a bed and asked the others to go away, and he asked him to open the mouth and close his eyes for some time. So the boy asked why he should do so. The master told him, because the 2 flies have entered through your mouth, and they will come through your mouth only. That's why this is a kind of therapy. You please close your eyes. Don't open your eyes till I say. Close your eyes, open your mouth, lie down for some time till I wake you up. So the boy was like that. Then the master went into his garden, picked up 2 flies, then returned to the room and woke up the boy. And he told the boy that he could catch those 2 flies. They are here. And he has shown them those 2 flies. And the boy was very much happy, and he said, nobody is believing me, and you only believed, and you took them out. Really, you are great, and you have relieved me of the problem and all that. See, in both the cases, in both the cases mentioned above, what the patients suffered is from not from a factual things that had happened to them. It is only their imagination. That imagination is because of the recognition, because of the lack of recognition. Nobody are able to recognize them in the normal course. So everybody wants, the real needs of the human being is, he wants acceptance, recognition, love and all that. So in both the cases, they want to be special. So they want to do something to make them, to make the others feel that they are special in some kind or other. So that kind of strange mental activity forced them to behave in that strange manner. So the point here is, the problems of the mind are entirely different or entirely unique. I mean, the diseases of the mind are entirely unique. So they require a unique treatment. So normally, psychotherapy is the technique they use. See, what is psychotherapy? Psychotherapy is nothing but cleaning the mind. So they try to clean the mind of one problem. By the nature of the mind, when you understand one problem and try to overcome it, then another problem the mind creates. So if you go on cleaning the mind because of the therapy, we will be doing it throughout our life with no cure at all, because the root cause has not been touched at all. So what is the alternative, or what is the ultimate cure for the disorders of the mental sicknesses? Meditation is the ultimate solution for all our psychic problems, and also to realize your own potential which is hidden. So the meditation is a kind of, there are different types of meditations. So the seekers of truth, they never touched the mind. They tried to transcend the mind, because when you transcend the mind in meditation, you will be like sitting in a peak of the valley, and then you will be seeing the problems in deep down the valley. The problems become like that. They become so light. In fact, the problems, whatever they appear to be as problems, they simply disappear. Because you go to such heights of your consciousness, the problem simply disappears. You realize the operation of the cosmic love, and when you touch that dimension, when you transcend the mind, when you go beyond the mind, all problems just disappear, because you come to know that the love of the divinity is so merciful that the problem doesn't exist at all. And whatever the problem in appearance is in fact a solution to all your miseries and sufferings. So, when this kind of realization arises, and you will be dwelling in a different dimension of peace and joy. So, how the element of love, the divine love, how it operates can be understood from this example. For information, Bernard Shaw, you all know, he was 8 years old, and he was having a friend, a doctor friend, who was 90 years old. So, Bernard Shaw, when he was sleeping in a night, he felt some pain in his heart. So, he could immediately recognize that it is an heart attack. So, in the midnight, because of his affinity and friendship with the doctor, that old doctor, so he rang him up and asked him to come immediately, as he is having an heart attack. So that doctor, who was 90 years and is a friend of Bernard Shaw, has come in the midnight to see Bernard Shaw. So he has to reach the room of the Bernard Shaw. He has to climb stairs, 3 staircases he has to climb to reach the room of Bernard Shaw. So he reached. So when he reached the room of Bernard Shaw, the doctor was perspiring. So he was feeling breathless, and he sat in a chair in that room and closed his eyes. So seeing this, Bernard Shaw got worried, and immediately he got up from his bed, and then he brought some water, sprinkled on the face of the doctor, and he switched on the fan, and he could do whatever he could to make the doctor or to bring the doctor into normalcy. So after a few minutes, say 10 to 15 minutes, the doctor opened the eyes, and then Bernard Shaw felt a great relief and asked him, "How are you now?" The doctor said, "I am quite okay. And what about your pain, heart attack? You said something." And the Bernard Shaw said, "No, I am all right. No, I don't feel anything. It is not at all there now." Then the doctor asked him, "Very good. Give me my fees. I will go away now." Then, surprised, Bernard Shaw asked him, "You have not even touched me, given me any medicine. And how could you ask the fees?" Then the doctor told him that this is the way, this is my way of treating the heart patients. Because when you focus on yourself, whatever the pain you feel so, but when your attention is diverted, in those times, you get cured by yourself without any kind of external medicine. It is only in some cases, not acute cases, but in some where they feel, psychologically they feel, whatever the pain they feel it is a heart attack because of the fear. So yours is not that much this thing, it's a small this thing. So that's why when I diverted your attention, so most of the cases are like this only, and I treat them like this only. So give me my fees, I'll go away. So here, in this case, and in other cases also, the point here is the love. Love is the factor which cured them. So when you extend that love to such persons who are feeling some kind of mental sickness or illness, and the love of the near and dear cures them and gives them so much relief, and they will be able to come out of that very quickly, because the psychotherapy is definitely required in the beginning and before, and in fact when you clean the mind, and that is the first step to go to meditation. So it is easier for any patient after physiotherapy to resort to meditation. So meditation has got it gives you physical, psychic and spiritual health, and helps you to overcome all your whatever the illnesses or sicknesses, and bestows you the grace and the realization of the divine. So